What is up, everybody? It's Dante Watson here. Today I'm going to give my spoiler review for episode 3 of The Last of Us. Long time. But before we get things started, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe for more content coming soon. Yeah, like I said, this will be the spoiler review. I'll be giving spoilers for up to the first 3 episodes of The Last of Us series. I will not be giving any spoilers for the game because, like I said last time, the show has already passed what I've played in the game. I haven't played too much, honestly. So yeah, there's not really much for me to spoil in that regards, but like I said, there will be spoilers for the show, so keep that in mind. So the first 2 episodes both started with sort of flashback sequences, and I was wondering if that was going to continue throughout the rest of the series. And while the show doesn't begin with the flashback sequence, in fact, it's bookended by moments with Joel and Ellie, which I continue to enjoy Pedro, Pascal, and Bella Ramsey's performance and the chemistry and all that. But the bulk of the episode was sort of like a extended flashback in a way. It started in 2003 and kind of works its way up into modern day, well, the current time of the story at least. It starts in 2003, a few days after outbreak. Bill, he's a survivalist in Massachusetts. The rest of the people in his neighborhood get rounded up, and we do learn that since there's probably no room in the QZ, that they were just executed by the Federal soldiers. But he survived, and he kind of fortified his little neighborhood and made traps and all this stuff, and turned on the gas, had power, so he's just living there on his own. A few years go by, we meet the character Frank, and yeah, that's when things really started to kick into high gear for me this episode. I mean, Nick Offerman and Murray Bartlett just were amazing this episode, honestly. The way that they were able to convincingly kind of play how their relationship went on, throughout the years, throughout the 16 years that they've been together. Just the original, the time they meet and all that. Just the sort of standoffishness Bill has. But after he cooks him a meal, and then especially the part with the piano, that whole scene was just masterful to me. Just the emotion of Bill playing this and Frank asking him oh, who's this girl you're singing about, the Linda Ronstadt song Long Time, which is also the title of the episode. And him, Bill saying, there is no girl. And Frank saying, I know. And then the kiss. Just, the silent way that they portrayed it, going on. Frank is just the tears coming down his face. And Bill just kind of being a little bit nervous, but also open to accepting this. He's finally able to kind of be with someone. First of all, he was alone for at least 4 years. And before that, who knows how long he was alone. And later on, he says, oh, he's never been with a man before, that he was with a girl a long time ago. So he was never able to just be himself or be with someone or open himself up for somebody. Just the way that progressed throughout the years was just really, really great. And this episode had a lot of little gems in the writing. The writing was great this episode. The dialogue was amazing. Bill telling Frank that he wasn't scared until you showed up. Just the fact that he had nothing to lose. He was just gonna be content surviving, but not really living. Not living his life. And even at the end, the end of their story, it's 2023, and Frank he wants to have his last day, and he's telling Bill to just love me the way I want to be loved, which is another gem of a line. In the end, while the end was sad, it wasn't a tragedy. Bill even says this is not the tragic suicide at the end of the play, which I enjoy. Obviously it's sad that they decided to end their lives and all that, but they were content and they lived their lives fully for 16 years, together at least. And there is something heartwarming about that, even though it's bleak kind of, but it is truly a love story in an overall bleak world, and I enjoy to see that. And it's interesting kind of showing the progression of how the world was from the perspective of mainly 2 characters living in a house together. I thought that was great. And also, by the time it's 2023, it was really convincing how they're able to be aged up through makeup and their performances and everything. Just the makeup in general in the show is just amazing. That infected that we see in the beginning of the episode looked incredibly detailed and very convincing as well. So just shout out to the makeup in general. just amazing, and makeup and prosthetics and everything. And I do like how that was able to, the story of Bill and Frank was able to tie into the overall narrative that's going on between like Joel and Ellie and all that. Especially with like the letter that Bill left for Joel, talking about if you can save one person, like that's kind of their purpose. Like Bill basically found his purpose when he met Frank, was to keep him safe and all that, and that's what Bill's saying that Joel's purpose was, but it was for Tess, who obviously, in the last episode, she did die, but now it kind of can be that purpose can be Ellie now, protecting her and continuing on this journey with her, at least. Also, it's nice to see that Frank was the one that came up with the smuggler code, and we do kind of have like an answer in a way of what that trouble signal was at the end of episode 1 when that Depeche Mode song played at the end. Joel explained that like when they went into Bill's bunker or whatever, like the music was playing on the radio, and Joel explains that that playlist is set to automatically play if like the system wasn't reset every few weeks. So that tells me that the end of episode 1, like Bill and Frank had been dead for a few weeks already. So interesting kind of way of like tying back to, like, because I was wondering like who sent that message if Bill and Frank died and all that, but it was an automatic thing. So that was a nice bit of storytelling. But yeah, if I had to pick an MVP, I honestly can't pick one single one. I have to pick both Nick Offerman and Murray Bartlett. They both were incredible this episode. Like the way they were able to work off each other is what really made both their performances shine. Like through the dramatic moments, through the loving moments, romantic moments, even like the little glimpses of comedy. All of it really worked for me. Like I'm not some sort of Arby's not giving free lunches. And then Frank is saying, Arby's didn't give out free lunches. It's a restaurant. Or during their argument later on, where Frank was kind of complaining like, "Oh, you're like believing that 9/11 is an inside job and the government are all Nazis," and Bill's like, "The government are all Nazis," and Frank's saying, "Yeah, now, but not then." This all of it worked completely for me. An outstanding episode of television, I gotta say. Directing, writing, performances, all of it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to see what happens going on. Joel and Ellie have access to a truck now, so they can drive out west to go to Wyoming. I wonder how far they'll get, like the next episode, like where they're probably going to stop off somewhere. I'm curious where that's going to be, and continue to really enjoy the show. Anyways, leave your thoughts down below in the comments. Catch you all next time. Bye.